That's life.
That's life.
That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top, back on top in June. I said that's life.
That's life.
And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks
How?
stomping on a dream. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. Hello and welcome to this, another episode of Earth Orange with me, Thomas, and my co-host, Andrew.
Hello.
And this week is our very first week on doing our Marvel universe. So, what are we doing today, Andrew?
Episode 7, I think, by our correct count. Is that right?
Potentially.
Potentially episode 7.
Yeah, that's why I've decided to not say numbers anymore. I'm just going to say, welcome to the next
I'll
episode.
throw in that then.
No, I'm sure. I think it is episode number 7.
Right.
Because think about it, it does make sense. We had opening episode.
Yeah.
Then we did 5 for DC.
Yeah, that would be right. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. See, I know my maths.
He's not bad, is he?
Somehow I passed my GCSEs, and God knows how I did that. But hey ho, we're going off topic here. So, this episode we are going to
Start with quite a biggie, aren't we?
we are going to start on quite a biggie. Someone who I only really learnt about much. Only learnt a bit about.
Yeah.
Even.
I assume recently was added onto the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the Marvel Cinematic Universe began, back in the withering days of 2010, I want to say.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
Well, it depends, doesn't it?
well, yes, it was
Iron
two.
Man was the first one.
No.
No?
Well, yeah, but this character was introduced into the film in 2010, and this is the All-Father, as we all know him, as King Odin of Asgard.
Quite right. Yes.
So,
So expect some.
now me and Andrew we've come prepared this week, haven't we, Andrew? We've actually done research after the fiasco of our Wonder Woman episode.
We didn't talk about that.
Which, no offence, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you've forgiven us and you've accepted that, you know, some weeks we ain't got a clue what we're talking about. So, but this week we do. So we've
Largely.
largely, yes, but I'm sure, like you say, we've done well this week. So buckle up and get ready for a great show.
I'd actually encourage the opposite and sit down, get comfy, get the Jaffa cakes out, get a nice tea. Yeah. No? Right, or buckle up, whatever. Either way.
Well, no, I agree with the cup of tea, and I'm just not that keen on Jaffa cakes. No,
right, okay.
a nice chocolate hobnob.
Oh.
Why are we talking about this?
Well, that can be for the other podcast. There's biscuit.
What's the best dunker in a good cup of tea? Oh, have you ever tried?
Right in.
Have you ever
I
tried?
think it's quite obvious. I think Peter Kay solved this, didn't he?
No, it's chocolate chip cookies. I love that. Especially with hot chocolate.
Chocolate on chocolate.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's
mate.
indulgent.
It's beautiful. I'm telling you.
But that's why Jaffa cakes are good.
No, because it's orange, man. It's orange. It's horrible.
Right, did you just all hear that? Sorry, can we just click that?
Chocolate and orange doesn't work.
It's horrible.
Chocolate and orange don't work together, in my opinion.
Oh, right.
Remember, I'm the dictator in this little world of ours, and you know.
Clip that as well.
Right, come on.
Just a stooge. Right, okay. So the story today is so it's Odin, and it's how Odin became the All-Father, isn't it? It's the kind of.
Well, no, it's.
Oh, I can't.
Well, no, to me,
Yeah.
I think what we should do is, I want to try and put it across as, say it is either the day before or the day of the announcement from his father, King Bor, who he's going to name his heir to the throne of Asgard.
Right, hang on a second. Right, so that's fine. So we can change. Right, I'm sorry, there's going to be ripping sound now. That's not my trousers. Oh, it was my trousers. Sorry about this. Some brief interlude, please. Right.
Why, Andrew?
Right, I'm putting the elements here so we don't forget them because we've done that twice now.
No, I've never forgotten an element.
Excusez-moi.
I've never forgotten an element. What element did I forget, smartass?
In Wonder Woman 1, you forgot to pass some knowledge on, and also in the last one.
I did pass knowledge on.
What? Right, we're not getting into this.
Hang on.
Right, stop the recording.
I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to listen to the Wonder Woman episode.
No. Yeah, bear with us.
If you want to go back and listen to it as well, you can.
That could be a great controversy that goes on into the ages. Ooh, we'll find out.
Okay, right.
So I'm going to put that as one of the elements. So it has to take place. So it has to include the day of the announcement. Yeah.
ER. So not So
by Boar.
Yes. And if you can tell me who Boar's father was, any listeners out there, I'll give you 25 points.
Okay. Awesome official merchandise. How about that? Some free merchandise.
Nothing's been made yet.
Well, we can give them the pen that we used to write this episode with.
Yeah, but that's just from W.H. Smith. Is it? Or
no,
where's it from?
It's from Daventry Metal Products, actually. But anyway.
Oh, I apologise. Don't worry.
Right. So, anything else? What are we going to say anymore? So, it has to, are we going to have it feature, how are we pronouncing his name? Surtur, that's it. Are we going to have it feature Surtur?
If you want to.
Surtur as an
yeah,
element?
fine, okay.
Feature Surtur. Can we just state that the brothers are called, well, we believe the correct pronunciation is Cull.
Cool, yeah.
Vili, not to be confused with the Hobbit. And V, are we going for V?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Spelt V-E?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so that's the three brothers' names alongside Odin, obviously.
Yeah, and then his parents. You can name them. Well, obviously Boar and...
Yeah, Boar and... Is it Besta? I thought it was Bestla.
Well, it's hang on. Let me have a look. Hang on. Let's.
Bear with this research time.
Yeah, we should have done this beforehand. Why did we do this before? Why didn't we do this before we started recording?
Because people like to see behind the scenes,
no,
don't they?
No, they don't.
This is
yeah, here. So it's Bestla.
Ah, so I'd say that was Bestla.
Okay, Bestla then.
So Boar and Bestla.
Okay, and he's obviously the second king of Asgard, and she is a beautiful frost giant. Yes.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what a female giant is, isn't it? A giantess.
I guess so. Yeah.
That's called it. That's my knowledge from Harry Potter. Isn't
That's
it?
all you've learned.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also go for the brainy girl.
What go for?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It worked for Ron, didn't it? That's where I've been going wrong for years, mate.
I don't. Help me, please. He's got me tied up. So, right. I'm going to say it also has to include a prophecy.
Oh, any kind of prophecy, or
from
a prophecy specifically?
From some kind of mystic person.
Okay, got you. And are we going to have any...
The nature of the prophecy is up to you.
Okay, can I just ask, is there going to be any...
Corgis?
No, any sort of...
Ice cream?
No, shut up. Any kind of quarrel between any of the race, or not?
Any of the race?
Yeah, I'd prefer not to, but it's up to you. If you would like to have a race, kind of like elves or dwarfs or anything like that.
Oh.
Like the dark elves
I didn't
or
even think of that.
But you don't have to.
Are they Asgardians?
No, but they are different. They're parts of the Nine Realms.
Oh. No.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll just keep this as right. In fact, I'm going to put that as an element. So it has to stay in Asgard.
Yep, perfect.
So that means no humans.
Can we mention previous times upon leaving Asgard?
You bit cheeky.
All right, fair enough.
Playing the line there. I'll have to see how you do it.
Okay, fine.
I'm going to have to ref on that one.
Okay, fine.
Check with the judges. Right.
I am the judge.
I am the judge.
Judge, jury, and execute.
God.
Right, carry on.
It's going to kill me at the end of this.
Right, so...
Right, I think that's enough elements, isn't it?
Okay.
I feel like I want to throw one more in.
Well, if you want to, it's up to you, mate.
Well,
how many you got there? 1, 2, 3, 4,
right.
5.
Has to feature... Magical artifact.
Okay.
Could be anything. Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
A weapon. Could be a box of fruit.
Oh, I've got an idea.
Oh, he's got one.
But you may go first, Andrew.
Hang on. Let's see who went first last time.
Oh, I think that was
It
probably
was me.
Okay. Was it you?
It was me.
Okay, shall I go first then?
Yeah, that means you go first, my friend.
Sounded.
Oh, wait, how many acts?
I want to do quite a long one.
All right.
I'm thinking 3 or 4.
Well, all right. Let's
Oh.
go for 4 acts. How about that?
Okay.
All right. Now you've got to buckle in because we're doing 4 acts here.
This is going to be a long episode. I apologise for this.
That's all right.
We're already 10 minutes in.
Well, we talked about biscuits. Got the biscuit talk out of the way. Right. Okay.
Right.
Let's get on with it then.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Favourite chair, everyone. Right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Right. So, right. Okay. In the royal palace.
Yep.
In the golden city upon the golden mountain, that is Asgard, sits King Bor, Queen Bessler, and 3 of their 4 children.
Ooh. So cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Vili
Yeah.
and V.
Right.
They are all awaiting the arrival of their final child, who is running late,
Oh my god.
and that is Odin.
Right. Is he going to be like some nerdy kid? Sorry, everyone.
No, he's not. He has just been to go and get a new armour.
Oh right.
Measured up for him, because he is aware of the fact that tomorrow there is going to be an announcement of who's going to be taking over from his father when his father either decides
Yeah.
and he wants to look his best. He knows it's not going to be him.
Oh.
He's not expecting it.
Oh right.
No, he's got an older brother. He's smarter. He's better looking. He's older. You know, he's got it all. You know, Cole's got it all going on for him. Odin is the spare. Okay, but he wants to make a good impression when he walks down into the throne room and he hears that announcement. So he finally arrives in the private chambers of the family palace, and he and Vili and V are there. They're I think kind of practical jokers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that they're sort of thinking, how could we potentially?
So are these two like quite similar, are they, in personality?
Yeah.
Right.
They're but one's more sort of out there and takes risks.
Oh right. Okay.
That's Vili.
Yeah.
But V is a bit more kind of. He doesn't. He likes a joke, but he doesn't want to. He wouldn't want to cause any harm.
Oh right.
Okay. But they both, like I say, they both enjoy a bit of a joke. Anyway, Bor is still kind of recovering from a disagreement. Well, let's say a small battle that happened between the Asgardians and a race.
Yeah. Oh, where are you going with this, lads?
Yeah, I'm allowed to talk about it. It's these people, this race of
Playing a dangerous game here.
Let's call them the Dark Elves. Okay?
Right.
They had broken in, they had come into Asgard and tried to kidnap the Queen. And this is the reason why Bor has decided to name an heir. Because if anything ever happens to his wife, it might ever happen to him. If he hadn't named an heir, he would, it could all break out into civil war. Okay. And obviously he loves his wife dearly. She's given him 4 sons. He's made him very happy. Okay? I love the fact he's smiling at himself and this is going to be crap.
What are you talking about? I'm excited.
Right, so.
I did zone out there though, but carry on.
Thank you.
I was thinking about my story. Sorry, go on.
If you nick any of my elements, I'm going to kill you. Right, so, like I said, so he's still a bit troubled about it because he felt as if obviously, if they wanted to, if the Dark Elves had wanted a proper fight, it could have lasted a lot longer than it did.
Right.
And the plan wasn't really that very well thought out. But the most important thing is that Bor got his wife back, Queen Bessla. Thank you. So, going back to what's going on. Vili and V are... all they were going to do is they're going to do something stupid. The idea of when the name of course, Kull is named, they're going to release a banner. It just says, "Well, hey, Kull is our new king."
Sure, okay.
Okay.
That's really innocuous, okay.
And Odin is sort of just kind of like, he's like I said, he's not expecting anything, and all he really wants is a quiet life. If anything, he would actually much have preferred never to have been in the royal family. He'd prefer to have been something completely different.
Okay.
A peasant, if I may so.
Oh, I think you may. Well, you just did. So.
Anyway, so
I'll have to bleep that out.
Indeed, like I said, Kull is a. The best way to describe it is, in old-fashioned American movies, from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, the cool sort of American football player.
Who's this? Oh, right.
Yeah, the idea of him kind of
Kull's a jock, is he?
Kind of. He's a bit like quite arrogant. Knows, basically he's got all the women.
Right.
All that sort of stuff. It's quite sad, really.
Okay.
Because because he's the eldest born son, and he can't really do anything wrong. He's a bit everything's gone a bit to his head. He thinks he's a bit untouchable. Anyway, what happens then is a servant arrives just after Odin has come in, and they're sitting in there. They're having wine and a fruit salad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meal of Kings.
Yeah, definitely. You can't beat it, can you?
Do you know what? I can just imagine a Nordic god coming in after a long battle. Get me some wine and a fruit salad.
Well, do you think you've got red wine?
Yeah.
In the goblets.
Well, yeah, I know.
And
They
then
got to look after themselves.
then you've got green grapes in the
Oh right.
in the salad.
Okay.
See?
So it's a bit of a light snack, really.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Lovely.
so at this point, the messenger comes in.
Yeah, messenger comes in.
Okay, and he has a note
Right.
for.
Don't forget to pace yourself because this is quite a long.
I know that's
Right,
what I'm doing.
Right.
And in the note, it's for Kull.
Oh,
Kull
yeah.
Borson. And it's. And he opens up the note, and he quickly goes, oh, sorry, father, sorry, mother, I must go, I must leave. I have urgent business to deal with in the lower levels. Please forgive me. I hope I'm not going to be laughing at your story. You know
I'm really sorry. Whoa, TMI, son. Just go and sort it out. See a doctor if you need to.
No, in the city, you moron. See what I have to work with, people.
I'm so sorry.
See what I have to work with.
Oh,
Why
God.
did I choose you?
Right, so Cool's got to sort his lower levels out.
No, there's a problem in the lower levels of the city.
Yep.
All right, some of the dark streets of the lower city. How about that?
No.
See, look how immature are you.
Yeah, I know,
that you
sorry.
find that funny.
Sorry.
I expect better from you, Andrew.
I'm really sorry, everyone. I do apologise. Right, there's a problem in the lower parts of the city.
He's making it worse. Anyway,
Right, go on. I'm
okay.
really sorry.
And I'm going to end my act 1 there.
Oh, okay.
As he leaves the room.
Ooh. Hang on, is Odin there yet?
Yes.
He is turned up.
Yeah, so Odin turned up just before the...
Right. Right, my act 1's quite simple.
Oh, hello. Go on, then. The simpler way.
Right. Right, okay. So, Boar is... Ooh.
Ooh. Go on, then.
So, Boar is dead.
Wow. Okay, you're going straight for the jugular there, aren't you?
Boar is dead.
Long live Boar.
I mean, you'd think that the rule would go to the oldest son. However, as the regent, well, in fact, no. In fact, let's say that Boar said his one of his final wishes is that his sons must prove themselves worthy of the title of Allfather, and not necessarily go straight to Cull.
Okay.
What are you? Oh,
No,
this is what I get, isn't it?
No. Well, you shouldn't have laughed at mine then, did you?
Shouldn't have laughed at the lower levels.
Idiot.
Right, so sons have to prove themselves worthy of that title of Allfather, and it doesn't necessarily go to Cull, which he's obviously not quite too pleased about. So.
Yep.
So let's talk about the characteristics of these brothers. So Cull is he's quite mild mannered, I suppose. He's quite gracious, quite heroic. Don't worry, I just whispered "don't worry" to him because I don't just trust me on this one. He's quite mild mannered, quite gracious, quite heroic. Everyone likes him.
Okay.
Billy is let's make him the smart one. He's got the brains. He's a bit of an inventor. Mathematics, astronomy. It's all It's all Billy's sort of department. In fact, I better write this down.
Yes, I think you better.
And V, let's say V is... So V is a sportsman.
Okay. You've missed one out.
I know.
Okay, good.
I'm getting to our boy.
Our boy Odin.
So he's a bit of a sportsman. He'll try his hand at anything.
Okay.
Whether it's archery or anything like that. And finally Odin, who
The Big O.
The Big O, as they call him, down in the lower levels.
Oh, dear me.
Right, Odin
is...
how should we characterise Odin? He is... He's a bit of a dreamer. He's often been accused of being distracted from his sort of princely duties and things like that.
Okay.
But he does. But he perhaps is the one that has the closest relationship with his father, and he does want to make him proud.
Okay.
So each of these can be characterised by a weapon. So for Odin, his is the sword. For Kull, it can be. Let's give him a hammer.
Okay.
Yeah, let's give him a hammer. For Vili, it's going to be a spear, and for V, it's going to be a bow. So those are the kind of weapons of choice.
Okay.
So Bor's final wishes, like I say, that were then sort of passed on by Bessler is they need to complete 3 tasks.
Okay.
And they need to present to the Queen evidence of these tasks being completed.
Okay.
So
she's the one who's now going to be deciding if they're worthy.
yeah.
Okay.
Ultimately.
Okay.
I mean, perhaps she says that she's in concert with Bor's spirit or something. So that's where she's able to get the divine jurisdiction from.
Got ya.
So the tasks are, like I say, they need to present physical evidence to Bessler. So the tasks are become humble.
Okay.
Become wise and become let's say honourable.
Okay.
So become wise, become humble, and become honourable. Those are the 3 tasks that are put to the boys. And obviously, when they hear that, they're like, well, that's nice and vague. That's great. And obviously, whoever presents all 3 of these, I guess, first is worthy of the All-Father title. And will gain it. And so basically the boys set out to kind of decipher these riddles and try and find evidence of these things that they can bring back.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, so that's your Act 1.
That is my Act 1.
Okay.
In concert. I was trying to think of the right word there. Concert will do.
Concert?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right, that will do. So that's Act 1, done. You ready for your Act 2?
Do you mean in communication with?
Yes, yeah, but...
In concert?
That's... Hey, look it up. Hey.
No, concert is a musical thing.
I know... Oh, my God. Yeah, but you can be in concert with somebody.
No, you can't.
Right.
You can't.
Right, get
Look,
back to us.
Check that out now.
Right, I'm looking it up. Getting the phone out now.
Anyway, look, this gives me time to think.
Right, to be in concert with...
You're an idiot.
I might have got this wrong.
You have?
To be in concert. Meaning, in concert, acting jointly.
I fucking hate it when you're wrong. Okay, right. So, let's just have a quick little...
You want to have a look at yours, do you?
No, let me just have a last... right, so, Cole has just had a little note, hasn't he?
He's had a little note.
He's had a little note and he's gone off down to the lower levels, which he finds so hilarious.
Well, not when you put it like that. No, you have to put it in the funny way.
You're a disgrace to mankind, you know that.
Oh no, that's what my mother says.
Right, so, now, what's actually happening is he has, he's just left the Royal Palace, Cole has, and he is, he's heading down to, he's dismissed the guards. Okay, so he's dismissed the guards.
What colours? Who has? Sorry.
Yeah, Cole has dismissed the guards that were meant to be following him.
Oh,
so,
right.
So the idea, if any member of the royal family leave the palace, they have at least 2 or 3 guards that are meant to go with them, just to protect them.
Yeah.
Okay, but he has dismissed his couple of guards because he
he wants the people to think that he's one of the people. If he becomes their king, he wants them to think they can come over to him and talk to him. And he wants to. He doesn't want to be, kept hidden by guards from his public.
Sure.
In many ways, he's a bit arrogant in the idea that he doesn't think anyone's going to hurt him. Okay, so he still has the note in his hand, and you after he's walked down out of the palace, like I say, and he's gone down into like there's the big public park outside the castle, outside the palace, sorry. And as you walk through, as you exit the park, then you go into the sort of the more rich area of Asgard. But he's still in the park, and he gets the note out again, and he has a read of it, and it says, "Carl, Borson, I, Surtur, summon thee to meet with me in a tavern, where we shall both raise a goblet of fiery red wine to the spirit and love we both hold to your loving parents."
Okay.
Signed, Surtur.
Love and kisses.
No, just signed, Surtur.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Right. Okay. So Cole carries on. He goes up through the park into the rich area of the city, into the sort of middle section of the city, and down to the bottom of the. And when he goes into the bottom bit of the city, he puts his hood up over his head. He wraps his robe around him so they can't really see his armour.
So it's just like the slums and peasantry and all that.
Okay, yeah. So he's walking around, and he goes into a tavern. And in this tavern there is only four of the people with, as well as, well, and so there's a fifth person who's the bartender. Okay? And so when he comes in, 3 people get up and go.
Oh, right.
Okay? Leaving the bartender and this other person, who's a big, hulking, big man, who has a big, like Cole has a big hood on, and he has a big goblet of wine on the table in front of him. And so Cole goes over to him and says, "Greetings, I'm Prince Cole, Borson." He said, "I am Surtur." And this is where you discover that note that he received is actually in code. Okay? It's not really for them to go and raise a glass. This is where they're planning to actually overthrow King Bor.
Oh my god.
And his queen, and put Cole on the throne instead, and banish not only Bor and his wife, but Odin, Vili and Vil.
Oh my god. No!
Okay?
This can't be!
So, what then happens is obviously the bartender comes over with a goblet of wine for Carl, and also a ginormous barrel with a little tap at the bottom with legs on it. The barrel's got legs on it, and you got the little tap, and then you put the goblet underneath, and you fill it up.
Right.
Okay?
So it's a little personal.
Yeah. So it saves it, and what he does then is he goes over to the door, locks it, and then he goes behind the bar and then leaves. So it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
But no, just think there's like obviously flight of stairs upstairs to his little
Don't want anything
house.
to do with this.
Okay, because he knows he doesn't know what's happening, but he knows.
Enough.
Well, he knows that something shifty's going on.
Right.
Okay, so and he doesn't, even though it's happening in his tavern, he's like, look, I've been given a bit of money here, but that's as far as I want to go. I'm not getting involved.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good for me. You know, it's not good for business. It could be the end of me. I could get killed. I'm not feeling it.
He's got to look after himself.
He does. Anyway,
He's got a kid.
he has. You know, little bartender. He's going to take over from him one day. Yeah, you know, at the moment he walks around collecting glasses or goblets or whatever, or little. What do they drink? Drank out of like wooden things, wouldn't they back then?
Yeah, it would be a goblet, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but anyway, going off the point. Anyway, so
He's next episode, isn't he? The barkeep.
yeah, he is. He's so crucial to the story. He actually have an entire act to himself. No, so yeah, so they're discussing how they're going to do this overthrowing. So Surtur and Cole, and they are they're talking about kind of one thing Cole does have is a connection with certain animals. So Odin has a connection with ravens. Vili has a connection with horses. V has a connection with owls. But Carl has a connection with snakes.
Ooh, snakes.
Okay?
Okay.
So, one of the things that Surtur was considering was to use one of the snakes to almost go up to Bor and using the All-Father's abilities to communicate with many things, to pass on the message that his son Cole is in danger and he needs the All-Father's power to rescue him. But Cole's like, no, I ain't doing that. My father's far too clever for that. You know what I'm going to do? He'll never think of this. He's too smart, but he'll never think anyone would try this. I want to communicate to one of my snakes, and I'm going to make him bite him.
Okay.
But this snake, I'm going to give it the power to have so much venom, it will destroy a total of 100 men on Earth.
On where?
On Earth.
Right.
So,
You're using that to
yeah,
blast that for our...
Yeah, so so you didn't say that to
So it's
Surtur.
enough to kill a god, basically.
Yeah, so just think, an average person, it would take 10, the amount of poison this snake's going to have, it could kill 10 people.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
But it's only going to
I
be
assume Bor wouldn't expect this at all.
No, because obviously...
Snakes to bite him.
Well, no, because, he thinks snake, when he sees a snake, he says, my
Cole.
boy Cole.
That's on the head.
He's a good lad. Oh, I'll name him my heir one day.
You're not going to do it.
Anyway, so Surtur's like, ho, very good.
Very good.
And so he's like, if you're sure your father will not twig onto this, I'll let you run with it. Okay?
Yeah.
And so Cole's like, yeah, it will work. So after a little bit more of they finish off the barrel of wine, and they leave the bar, and they go off their separate ways. So Surtur goes one way, Cole goes the other, and as he's slowly working his way back up to the middle section of the city, he starts calling all the snakes together, and that's from the rich area of the city, the poor area of the city, and the middle part of the city. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like, right, I got a job. Only one person can do it. Who wants it?
No, and then that's where I'm going to end my act 2.
As he gathers all the snakes up.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Very interesting. Oh, what will happen?
You have no idea, do you?
No.
Do Do you want to know?
I don't think it's going to be as simple as...
Do you want to whisper it here?
No.
No.
Right,
Go
okay.
on, go for Act 2.
So, where we picked off, the boys have just been given their tasks. They're very confusing tasks that they're all a bit confused about.
Oh yes, now it was, what were they again? They were
Become
humble,
become
wise,
and
and honourable. Got you, okay.
Right,
Carry on.
so they go off in their separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have a bit of conversation, and like, I don't know what this means. Secretly, they all kind of want each other to fail. But, they're brothers, so they talk about it for a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, they all go their separate ways, sort of start their quest. No wasting time. But we'll focus on Odin, obviously, because he's our boy today. So he returns to his wife and tells her all about it.
What's his wife called?
Oh, I need to think of a Nordic name now.
Didn't you get this in your research?
What, a Nordic name?
No, her name.
Has she actually got a wife?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course. And her name is... no, it's not her. It's not her. No.
Wow.
Someone else. Not her.
Okay.
Let's call this young lady... I'm literally just going to make up a name.
Go on then.
Caroline. No. Let's call her Rain. I don't know why that just yeah. I'm not sure that's very Nordic, but I'm going with it. Shaking his head. Right, you think of a name for her then.
No. You carry it. It's your story, pal.
Right. Right. And she suggests that he go to he visits a place called the Spa of Reflection. In the hopes that it might clear his head and he might be able to think a bit better. So he does so. Sets out of the city, goes far into the mountains where all the... Is it geodes? Am I thinking the right word? Geodes? I'm not thinking the right... Well, all the geysers and stuff like that. Where you'd find a naturally occurring spa.
Okay. Do you mean springs?
No, well, yeah. I suppose it is a spring. But a spring, to me, seems more like somewhere that you'd find in a forest, not in a mountain.
Okay, fine. You mean a cavern?
No, not a cavern! You know what I'm talking about.
I'm just making your life difficult now, aren't I?
Right. So he's sitting there amongst the steam, trying to clear his head, trying to figure out, what his father could have meant and how he can possibly prove this. And suddenly he notices. So he kind of notices that he hasn't been paying attention, that he's been absorbed in his thoughts a bit too much, and he's now surrounded by steam, and he can't see past the small spa that he's in. He can't see any of the mountains or the pathway back. And suddenly out of the steam emerges a woman dressed in green with a hood, a long cloak. And obviously Odin challenges her.
Okay.
And she reveals that she's an oracle.
Right.
Who has been sent to guide him, especially.
Oh, from his father. Okay, got
No,
it.
not necessarily. She doesn't mention his father. She mentions other forces beyond the knowing.
Okay, fine, got you.
And she points him towards a beast. What should I make that beast? I'm trying to think of some cool Nordic. What's he pointing at that for?
Elements?
Yeah, I haven't written. No, it can't be that. It seems to be something else.
Okay.
let's say, should we make it? Right, I think this is from Greek legend, so I'm sorry about this. But it's a kind of a chimera. So it's like a half eagle, half goat, half... Wait, that's not half, that's
a quarter.
Yeah, so it's a third eagle, third goat, third... let's say snake. So that's the beast. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it...
Ingrid.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. In fact, the tale of Ingrid is that she is a widow whose husband was killed in a war, and she went insane. And she went out into the forest and she started eating beasts, and she started to become one, basically. All the beasts that she ate, she became.
Right. So she ate an eagle, a snake, and
amongst other things, yeah.
Right, okay, got you.
And she, eventually her vengeance imbued her with this power.
Got you.
But she's been terrorising a village, and basically this oracle says to Odin that this is the direction you need to go. Go and destroy Ingrid, and all will be revealed about your father's tasks.
Okay.
So, Odin returns to the city. He tells his wife, Rain, apparently, and he picks up his sword, and he sets off. However, just as he's leaving, one of his brothers stops him, Kull. And Kull is on a horseback with a whole bunch of other dudes, basically his entourage. And he stops his brother and he says, where are you going? I think I've got a lead on this. You can come with us if you want. And Odin's like, no thanks. He hides where he's going from his brother, and kind of slinks off to go and destroy this beast, Ingrid. I think I'll leave it there, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Yeah. I might have done too little.
Okay. Can I just ask one tiny little question?
Yeah, go.
You know, on the elements over there.
Yeah.
You've ticked a few of them. Why have you ticked them?
Because we've done those.
But we've done Vil.
This whole brother thing. We've got that done.
Right.
You've got Certus. That's good.
Yeah, and we've done Boar, and
that's sort of done.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. My prophecy's done.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna move into now.
Right. Good.
Okay, right, so
that's kind of done as well.
This is Act 3 for me, isn't it?
So we need to mention explicitly in a magical artifact. Yeah.
Right, okay. Got you.
Stops Odin.
Just tell me when you're ready, alright?
Yeah, I will.
Sounded.
Sorry about this.
No, don't really take your time, mate.
In fact, I'm going to say that this entourage is actually his two other brothers. So they've all kind of teamed up.
Okay. I'll give you that.
To do this, whilst Odin's going to break out on his own, because he thinks he's in the right.
He knows what he's doing, just.
Possibly.
Supposedly so, just.
What?
I want to know how you're going to get him in.
Who?
Surtur.
You'll see.
That's what I'm looking for. You've only got one. No, you've got 2 acts left to do, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, don't worry. I've got this in hand.
Okay.
Odin steps away. Cool beans. Right.
Okay. You put the little T on the corner there.
Yeah.
Got you. Right. Act 3.
Act 3.
Sounded.
Whoa.
Right, okay, so...
Snakes are closing in.
Right, okay, so... Cole has got all the snakes together in this sort of square in in the middle section of the city, and he basically asks that if all the snakes could bite into this jug,
Okay.
so their venom
So inject their venom into the sugar.
into a ginormous jug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. Cool.
So let's say there's 800 snakes.
Ooh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And each snake gives maybe
Half their venom.
no a half a teaspoon of venom.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So after all those snakes have done that, from his he takes the jug and he returns back to the royal palace. And before he left, he said to one snake in particular, the biggest, longest snake that came when he summoned. Mm-hmm. He said, "In the morning, come to my room in the royal palace, and your mission, I shall tell you what it is." Okay? So he goes in and he has the jug and he wants to get to his room. So all he wants to do is just like he needs to get to his room, take off his cloak, get out of his armour. But it's Odin and Vili and V are like, no, come on, let's go into the garden and let's go and practice. Let's go and do some sword play. Let's go and let's have a bit of It's like it could be one of our last day of being able to have fun. After this, one of us could have serious amounts of work to do, and it could be one last afternoon of fun. Come on, let's have a laugh. Come on, let's do this. And Cole's like, no, look, I can't. I've got things to do. I need to prepare. I need to work things out. I need to get my head around what could happen here. And Odin and Vili and V are like, what do you mean? Why do you have to do this? Why? And so Vili and V are a bit like kind of, oh, we don't like this. We don't think this is. This is a bit arrogant. We don't like this. We don't think this is right. So they sneak off and they're like, something? We're going to change it. We're going to change this, and we're going to change the banner to say, "Yay! Odin's the king."
Right.
Okay. But Odin's like he's thinking something's wrong there. Cole would be right up for going out and have this final day of fun.
Yeah.
He's that sort of person that wants to have. He wants to have. He would hate the idea of sitting behind a desk being king.
Sure.
He wants to. He wants to have the laugh. So he's like, there's something going on there. So he goes down to the royal guards. And he summons them over and says, "Where did my brother go? Where did Prince Cole Borson go this morning when he left?" He said, I'm sorry, Your Royal Highness, I cannot tell you this. I don't know why he's French, but he is.
I can't believe you got the French accent in. That's impressive.
Just so you know, I had a bet with Andrew that first of all, I wanted to do the intro to this episode in French accent, but Andrew said I wasn't allowed to, so I said I'd have a go at trying to get a French accent into this episode, and I have. Ha 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 ha! No,
Amazing.
okay.
So, right, the only French person in Asgard.
Yeah, well, you know. I could go German, but I'm not going to.
Right, thank you for sparing us.
Anyway, so he's like, yes, Prince Bard told us not to follow him. He said,
Prince Cole.
yeah,
Prince Paul.
Oh, sorry, Prince.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cole, I do apologise. I misspoken. So, Prince Cole told us not to follow him. So, anyway, so Odin's like, okay, that's very odd. And then he thinks, I wonder. So he goes to the Bifrost. He walks across the city and he goes over to the Bifrost, which is the connector from Asgard to the rest of the 9 realms. And he goes to the keeper of the Bifrost, an old man called.
How are you spelling that? Sorry.
Just.
Right. So is that U-H?
Yeah, fine,
Right,
whatever. I
okay.
don't really mind. But
The mystic.
he's been the keeper of the Bifrost since time began, and so he's seen many things come and go. And Odin goes over to him and says, will you please tell me what my brother, Prince Cole Borson, has done?
Well, no. Oh.
And Earth's like, your brother, he travelled through the 3 levels of the city. He conversed with a man that I could not see. After many hours, he returned, and then he spoke with snakes, gaining things from snakes that no man should ever gain. And then he returned to the palace. So, Odin's like, what do you mean? What did he get from these snakes that no man should ever get from a snake? And then Earth's like, well, use your brain, Odin Borson. What would no man want from a snake, but a snake could be willing to give?
Oh.
Anyway, so Odin's thinking, he's scratching his head like, well, I don't know. Thank you very much. And he goes back to the palace. And as he's walking the corridors and passageways,
Racking his brain.
he sees that the vault, Ball's private vault door, is open, and he goes in and he goes, my father shouldn't be in here. Why is my father? Why is the door? My father's not in. And it's cool. And he's got a big jug. And just before Odin went in, he dropped one of the artifacts from this vault into this jug, which obviously consists of the snake's venom, which I believe goes for the magical artifact.
Does it?
Yes, because it's only magical artifacts are in that vault.
Oh, right, okay. That's
got it.
fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
See? Clever. Anyway, so after a bit of a discussion about what are you doing here and what's in the jug, goes, oh, it's a special wine that I've had made for whoever gets named the heir.
Oh, and very clever.
It's a special wine that I have had brewed personally, and I've just added the final element. I had permission from our father, but it's a special artifact from the the giants. So it enhances whatever liquid it's in. So, say if it was like this, it's a lovely wine, it will enhance that taste and that flavour and the oomph millions of times. Okay? So, the reason Cole's thinking about this is because he thinks, obviously, if he's increased the power of this poison so many times using this magical artifact, there's no way his father can survive.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this magical artifact is meant to boost the power.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So.
Very good.
Okay. Now, Cole leaves, and Odin sort of stays in the room a little bit longer. And then he leaves and he closes the door over. And then he goes off and he hears an announcement coming through the entire palace. King Bor requires the presence of his 4 sons. And just as that happens, Odin sees a snake going into his brother's rooms. And as Odin walks past, he glances in, and he sees that the Cole is pouring whatever's in the whatever's actually in
that jug,
the jug into the snake.
Into the snake.
Into the snake.
Right.
Okay, so so the snake is drinking all that venom.
Okay. Right.
But but what's happening is he's made some kind of there's something happen that it doesn't affect the snake.
Right.
So it'll only affect whoever the snake bites.
Well, I assume it's imbued with the magic.
Yeah, well,
that could work out.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially?
Yeah. Anyway.
I was giving you an out there.
I know, thank you. Really means a lot. Anyway, so, Odin says, "Brother, let us walk together."
Oh, wow. Okay, so he didn't really think much of that, then.
No,
he trusting Odin.
Well, he just thought, he just thought it's because obviously Cole's spent all the time. Every time you see him, he's always got snakes. It's like how Odin's got ravens about him all the time. It's that sort of thing. Just so you know, he's walking around laughing his head off now because he finds that hilarious.
Sorry, I just imagine.
Because
Bugger off, ravens! Bugger off!
But it's that whole, obviously.
Oh, here comes Cole. He's got bloody snakes on his arms. Oh my god! What are the other ones? Owls, and what was the other one? Horses! Oh god! Here comes Billy. He's got like 12 horses behind him.
Yeah.
Right,
what's wrong with that?
No, nothing.
No. Anyway.
It is their domain. Sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, you shouldn't.
Right.
I'm offended by your lack of belief.
I do apologise.
You don't know, do you?
Anyway.
Yeah. So obviously, just imagine.
Obviously, yeah. It's,
yeah. So just imagine.
People are used to seeing snakes.
Yeah.
Because of Cole.
Yeah, and just think, he's probably ill. He's just giving him a bit of medication. It's all fine.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. You never know. He might be giving them a little bit of that wine that he said he was going to give to the winner.
It out.
Yeah, just to see
what do you think of that?
Yeah, you never know. It could be good. You can. Oh yes, I love this wine.
The snake French.
Apparently so. When the snake gets drunk, he goes French. So yeah, like Odin's like, must have been, the snake must be ill or something like that. So he's giving him, yeah. Anyway, so they walk off to the throne room,
right? Okay.
Where, but unbeknownst to Odin, the snake is right behind them.
Right.
So he's travelling behind them. And
not that it would matter anyway.
Well, no, but it's
that. Would look back at that snake again.
Yeah, but it's that whole thing of thinking kind of like, because obviously it's only meant to be the 6 of them. So they're obviously only meant to be Bor, Bestel, Bessler, Cole, Odin, Vili, and V. And obviously, because... And this isn't actually going to be the announcement. This Bor was going to say, look, what's going to happen is sunrise tomorrow. I'm going to... I want you all here, and just as a family, I'll announce my heir. You'll all know, and then you've got a couple of hours to accept it, and then this time tomorrow, we'll announce it publicly
Are
to
they allowed
everyone.
to challenge it?
No, because it's the All-Father's decision.
That's where it goes, that's it.
Okay?
Bottom line.
So, Cole is in mental communicado with the snake.
Yep. Concert, you would say.
Shut up. And then you can let me let that. Yeah. So at the end of this little speech, and everyone apart from Kull and Bor are left in the throne room, apart from the snake. And Bor's like, Kull, come sit. And the snake goes up behind the throne. And just as Bor has got his son's face in between his hands and saying, even
Giving him some kind of little speech, father to father,
yeah,
to son,
yeah,
father to father.
Yeah. The snake's gone around the back of the chair, up the back of the throne, and just about as if he's about to open his mouth to start the speech, the snake bites him.
Hang on, who's he talking to? It's Cull, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my Act 3.
I see. Right. Okay. Oh, what's going to happen? Will he be all right? I don't know. Act 4. Right. Okay. So we left Odin. He's slinked off to go and fight Ingrid.
Oh yeah, Ingrid. Good old Ingrid.
The half eagle, half snake,
No,
half goat.
No. Yeah.
Right.
So many halves.
So he is fighting beasts is not uncommon.
No.
For him. He's like I described earlier. Well, he's a warrior, but Kull has always been sort of the one that takes on the strong ones. Him and the other three. Odin's never been on the bigger hunts, so this will be a challenge for him. And he turns up, and Ingrid is this small village. Okay, all right, yeah. So he turns up, and the village is quiet. There's obviously signs of like destruction and stuff.
Okay.
And as he asks around about this beast, there is this kind of fear and this sort of retreating from it. Mm-hmm. But eventually he finds the elder of the village, and the elder describes a way to summon this beast. Okay. Using all these kinds of ingredients, stuff that it's stuff that
attracts the animal.
Yeah, but it also attracts the human part of it as well.
Okay.
So things that this widow was purportedly like the smell of lavender, for example.
Okay.
So amongst like animal entrails and things, there'd be the smell of lavender, which, according to the legend, that was kind of what accompanied her. That was her favourite smell.
Okay.
So he does it. He performs the ritual, and sure enough, Ingrid appears, and it's truly like some crazed beast that really has no rhyme or reason, and it's almost like, I guess, rabid, I suppose, would be the best way to describe it. Okay. And the villagers, by now, they've kind of got their way. They just hide inside and just hope for it to end. So Odin takes it on, battles it, takes his scars and a lot. It doesn't come away unscathed. in fact, he is even poisoned by the snake, which he's not bitten by the snake part, but the claws of the eagle actually contain the venom.
Oh, okay.
So he's actually scratched. But he defeats it. And he, seeing as the oracle pointed him here, he decides to take a trophy from the beast. Let's just say it was like a nail from. In fact, yeah, it can be the one of the claws, the talons of the eagle that scratched him. But the venom is acting on him. But he returns to the spa in the hopes of seeing the oracle again.
Are you writing this down?
No, I'm not.
Right, okay.
In fact, I should probably write a bit of this down. So, fights Ingrid, beats...
Deary me.
This is going to be quite a long act, actually.
Oh.
Right, returns to the oracle. Sure enough, the oracle is there.
Takes claw.
Yeah.
Got you.
And she cures him of the venom.
Okay.
So she seems to have some kind of mystical, magical powers. And she talks more about how these forces that she's been sent by see him as the king. He is the one that is going to become the king, and she's there to guide him towards that. So she sets him off on the next task, which is to enter Alright, it's called the Cave of Misdirection. He's laughing. Why is he laughing? I know it's not the most glamorous name, but it's...
No, I just... It's if I misheard that, it could have happened.
Oh, wow. Wow. Right, so she sends him off to his second task here.
Yes.
Now, the thing about this cave is... It's a labyrinth, for one. And there are legends that there is a room in the middle of it with untold treasures or whatever. Some kind of magical artifact.
Okay.
But no fire can be ignited within the cave. It's pitch black and no...
Light.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
So she gives him something that he can actually create light with to guide him through this cave. Let's just say it's like a pendant or something. So he heads off. He goes to the Cave of Misdirection, and he delves inside, and he's frightened. He is. Like I say, he's not the strongest of the brothers and things like that. But he soldiers on. Tries to think of his father, what his father would have wanted, and his wife, all the things that kind of give him strength. Anyway, whilst he's there, he starts to hear noises within the darkness, noises that are starting to disconcert him. He carries on, and soon this light that he's been carrying starts to flicker out, and it dies, and he's left in the middle of this cave with no light. And that's when he starts to feel this presence come closer and closer and closer. And suddenly, out of the darkness, comes Vili. And Odin's obviously relieved. Somehow Vili has got the same pendant as he had. And Odin's relieved. He's like, "Oh, brother, so good to see you." But there's this look in Vili's eyes that isn't quite... It's not the same person that he knew. And Vili starts to attack Odin with his spear. And Odin, despite all his objections, he has to fight back because he knows that Vili. I think he starts to realise that this isn't the Vili that he knows, and so he has to fight back. And yeah, so within this darkness, they're stumbling around just by the light of Vili's artifact that he's been given, or he got from somewhere. And Odin wins, and he strikes a fatal blow on Vili. And as he does, whatever this thing, this veil, it lifts, and he returns to consciousness, and sort of Odin and Vili do share this, thankfully, a moment of sort of friendliness in Vili's last moments. But he doesn't say anything about what happened. He doesn't know, other than he was given this artifact and sent here. So using that artifact, in fact, it's too dark to drag Vili's corpse back out, so he just takes his spear. So Odin takes up Vili's spear with him, and he carries on into the cave, and eventually comes to this so-called room, and there on a pedestal is the kind of trophy that he's been looking for. And let's say, so he's got a talon with him.
An orb?
I was about to say an orb. In fact, here's what we're going to do. So it's an orb, and it's there on the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to reach for it, and he puts his hand on it, and his hand goes straight through it, and it's like an illusion.
Ooh.
And there's nothing he can do to grab it, and it just fades away. So Odin leaves the cave, and he's absolutely fucking furious. And he returns to the oracle. He returns to the oracle, completely angered, and the oracle speaks very calmly and says that you have passed the test. You know, you're on the right direction. And she says, "There's one final test for you." But Odin's had enough, and he takes up his sword and he strikes the oracle, and she disappears into steam. And suddenly, the geysers and the spa which he was stood at start to become more furious, and fire starts to erupt. And I shall leave it there.
Wow. Okay. So bubble, bubble, bubble.
Yeah.
Toil and trouble. Please tell me you know what that's from.
It's from Macbeth, isn't it?
Oh, thank God for that.
Which I suppose was partly inspiring this story. What are you?
No, it was just the look of kind of unsurety in your eyes when you said,
Well, I suppose.
Is that Macbeth?
Macbeth?
Right.
Decide. We've done too good here. And our stories are so different as well.
Well,
I think we might have to flip a coin or something for this.
have you got a coin with you?
I have.
Oh, dear Lord.
I think that I think we might have to consider that. Strikes her and she disappears.
And then the waters start to bubble.
Yeah. Well, most importantly, fire
Fire and bubbles.
starts to materialise.
Fire and bubbles. Oh no. Oh no, not fire and bubbles. Bubbly fire.
Right.
Right.
Go for it. Act 4.
Act 4.
Let's do this.
Of
So,
Thomas.
Boar's just been bitten.
Boar has just been bitten.
Ta-da!
In the neck.
Oh, right in the neck.
Yeah.
Right in the levels.
Don't be an ass. Why do you find that funny?
I'm sorry. It's very immature.
I'm so pleased you said that, not me. Because I've been called immature so many times today.
Just today?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It shouldn't normally affect me. Anyway, so basically what's happened is Boar has been bitten and he lets out a scream. And obviously because his 3 other sons and his wife are still just outside, and all of the royal guards come rushing into the throne room. And what happens is Cole, with the snake, obviously he didn't use all the venom on Boar, but he so what he ends up doing is he tells the snake to implant all the rest of the venom that he drank into his what do you call it?
Staff?
There we go.
He's got a staff, has he?
A staff. Right. And so what he ends up doing is he starts. He makes it very clear: anyone who gets touched by this staff, apart from me, will be poisoned. Have this snake poison kill them. Anyway, so some of the guards go rushing straight up to it and obviously meet their end quite quickly, because it's 7 foot tall, and so Cole just holds it and just waves it around, and even if it just touches your shoulder,
can it spray?
You're down, you're dead.
Venom?
No.
Oh, not that fun then.
No, but so Cole is he's getting a bit kind of cocky, and he's like, come on then, have a go, dare ya? And so Villy and V are they using their connections with their animals. They try and fight their brother, and they don't. The animals get touched, but they don't. So, but what happens is they are actually, unbeknown to anyone else, snakes started to come into the room. And what they're actually doing is they're actually starting to go and, a bit like pythons, starting to wrap themselves around Villy and V.
All right.
Okay, but obviously they're not pythons; they're just ordinary snakes. But there's loads of them, so they just keep on going around and round, and in the end, we'll all just try and crush them. At the same time, Bethel has she's over Bessler, sorry. All right, is over.
I was like, who's this? New character.
Over with Boar, and she's using all of her sort of frost giant knowledge of medicine. She's trying to heal her husband.
Sure.
Because obviously she's deeply in love, and she doesn't want to see her husband die, not just yet anyway. Anyway, so Odin is furious, and he's with his mother and his father, and he sees that all the soldiers are either dead or they can't handle it. His 2 brothers are going to be pretty much dead very soon. Mm-hmm. So what he does is he runs over to his 2 brothers, and they enact the chant of the wounded boy, which goes, I, the wounded boy, be wounded more, give up my power to thee to fight my wars once more.
Cool.
So, with both of them chanting that, they impart their
power to Odin.
their spirit or their power to defeat their remaining brother, to Odin.
Okay.
And at this time, Surtur reappears with 1,000 soldiers.
Oh, Christ! Right, okay.
And with the power of Villian V, Odin just destroys all of Surtur's soldiers without much.
Oh wow! Okay.
Because obviously it's not only just the power of himself and his brothers.
What happens to Villian V? Are you going to tell us?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's obviously not just their power, it's obviously the adrenaline and the shock and the anger of what's going on. So anyway, so there he's doing that, and he in the end he goes toe to toe with Surtur. And he's using his sword and everything like that, and he's just, smacking him and smacking him and smacking him until Surtur is on the floor. He's the size of just an ordinary man, and he's no longer sort of like a 20-foot tall, massive, fearsome person that he was when he first arrived in the throne room with all of his men. So once he's been dispersed, Odin runs over to Villian V, who have unfortunately died because the snakes have actually finally crushed them. So he can't get rid of their force. So he runs over to his parents, and his mother's like, I can't, I've tried everything I know, I can't do much more. And Odin just kisses his father, and that imparts a bit of the force into him, and that brings him back from near death. And then, with the remaining power that Odin has, he completely destroys all of the snakes. And this is why there's never, ever, from that day onwards, a snake in Asgard. And he banishes his brother, and says, if you ever return to the known 9 realms ever again, I will destroy you. And then, obviously he returns back to his father, who's now slowly regained a bit of control and a bit more of power. And he says, Odin, do you remember the prophecy I told you when you and your brothers were young? That today was the start of it. But one day in the future, the second part of that prophecy will come true, and Kol will return. And he will spell the end of us.
Oh.
And then Bor says, I declare you, Odin, my heir.
Oh.
And that is my end of Act 4.
Wow. Hang on. So, what happened to Billy and V? Were they destroyed or what?
No, they're not destroyed, but they were crushed by the snakes.
What an ungracious end. Right. Cool. So Billy and V are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I spelled his name wrong. I called him Vile. That's not very nice, is it? What happened to Surtur? Was he destroyed?
No, he was. He was picked up. Well, he was basically kind of brought down to size by Odin.
Yeah.
And then he was taken away by.
Sorry, go on.
And then he was taken away by some Asgardian soldiers to be placed in prison for life.
Right. Okay.
Either on Asgard or somewhere else.
Right. Okay. Interesting. I'm only laughing because I like it so much. So when you say something silly, it's like...
Yeah, but then I know exactly what you're going to do now. You're going to cut and paste in all manner of garbage when you want to put your story involved.
Right, y'all ready for this?
No, really, but carry on.
Okay. Oh, big stretch. Right, so... That was very good, by the way. I like your story a lot.
Okay, come closer.
Sorry.
I'm concerned that you might not be heard...
Oh, God, I hope not.
Hardly anything been heard throughout your entire story.
Yeah, that's true.
If that happens, I'll just laugh. I'll be like, it's not going to happen. Carry on. Do your story.
Right, so, Act 4.
Yes.
So, the Oracle, it was an illusion.
Well done.
Right. Well, you didn't see that coming, did you?
Well, I did when you said it everything turned fiery and bubbly and all that.
So, yeah, all that's happening. And from one of the spars emerges V.
Okay.
He is covered in blood and wounds, and his eyes are something demonic, and he speaks to Odin in a voice that seems to resemble Kull's.
Right.
Only so much darker. And he identifies himself as Surtur. And he... so in V's body, he reveals that, Odin's been tricked, and this has all been a ruse in collaboration with Kull, and his city and all his loved ones are burning as they speak, and this V thing draws his weapon, which is a bow, and he basically says you won't live to see them burn anyway, and so they fight, and V seems to be alright. Okay, I need to write it down. So they fight, and obviously, V seems to be imbued with some kind of hellish. All his arrows are flaming, and he just seems to be able to take more hits. In fact, he's got limbs coming off and things. He's almost like undead in that sense. So Odin has to basically dismember his brother with Surtur having taken over his soul, and with that final blow, again he sees in V's eyes that return to consciousness, as it were, and he rushes off home, and sure enough, the city is on fire, everything is burning, and above it all stands the fire demon Surtur, having a whale of a time, laughing and just destroying everything. And I forgot to mention, Odin takes V's bow with him as well. So Odin gets Surtur's attention and challenges him. And Surtur is wielding a hammer that belonged to Kull.
Okay.
And he brings this massive hammer. This hammer is renowned already for being powerful. Like in Kull's hands, it was powerful. Probably the most powerful of all the weapons. And he brings it down and he goes to smash Odin in one fell swoop. And so Odin brings his sword up and he manages to stop this massive hammer. But both of them, the sword and the hammer, are both destroyed. So the hammer comes away from its hilt and the hilt smashed into a million pieces. And all that's left of the sword is the hilt. So this obviously frightens Surtur a bit, and he shrinks back. So Odin uses his brother's weapons against Surtur, who is now unarmed, and they seem to do better. So he's puncturing holes in Surtur with the spear and with the arrows, and eventually he manages to not destroy Surtur, but give him enough of a challenge that he and inflict enough pain that he, is almost destroyed. In a last desperate bid, Surtur turns his attention to Odin's family, and to display how much power he has, he takes Odin's wife and, I guess almost in a Thanos-like moment, snaps his fingers, and she just, before Odin's eyes, is just like engulfed in flame and is incinerated right before him. And that's kind of Surtur's last laugh as he disappears into smoke. And Odin's left there, but the city is saved, thanks to Odin and his brother's weapons, in fact. And so Odin returns to his mother, Bestla, with 3 artifacts. He returns with a scrap of the dress his wife was wearing that's charred and burnt at the edges. He returns with the spear and the bow, and he lays them out before her. I forgot to mention about his eye. I was going to have him have his eye out taken by Surtur during the fight. I might even have that. I'm going to put that in. Yeah. So perhaps when these 2 weapons come together and they shatter, like one of them
goes into his eye.
Yeah, one of the shrapnel goes into his eye, and he loses his eye.
Okay.
So yeah, he lays them out before her, and he hangs his head, and just completely distraught. And Bestla names him the new Allfather, having brought her evidence that he has become all these things that Bor wanted him to become through his trials. And so Odin becomes the Allfather, and Kull is never heard of again in Asgard.
Okay, so is that the end?
And that's the end.
Right, okay.
Cool. Odin wins.
Alright.
Takes V's bow. Return to Asgard on fire.
Yeah. So, now, are you happy that what was your prophecy?
From the Oracle.
Okay, magical artifact? The weapons?
The whole bunch.
Okay.
One in the cave as well, wasn't
Right.
I think we've done it really. I think we've got all of them.
All based in Asgard.
Yeah.
3 brothers. Surtur. Announcement.
Yeah.
Parents.
It's all there.
Job's good. And 4 acts.
I think we've done great.
Great stuff. Okay.
Lose his eye.
Okay.
So, alright. He's getting painful with that. Sword is destroyed.
Soul is destroyed.
The sword is destroyed.
Oh, right. I thought you said soul. I thought, dear me.
Save for hilt. Cole's hammer is destroyed. Save for the head. Oh, a hilt and a head reforged. What could it make? Right. Artifacts for Professor. Sorry about this.
No, it's all good, mate. It's all content.
It's all content. It's all going in.
It ain't.
Uh,
So much of this episode is going not to be on air.
Not the biscuits bit. We're going to have to put it in now because I've mentioned it.
No, don't, because I'm going to get rid of that bit.
Oh, right, I see. Double whammy. Should have mentioned it halfway through, shouldn't I? Cool. Never heard of it again.
Alright.
Right, so, considering how long have we been recording?
An hour and 41 minutes.
Right, I think the best thing to do, considering how different these stories are, I think we're going to have to flip a coin on this.
I don't think we are.
Oh, you think we can meld these?
Well, no, actually, I reckon I don't think... Not down to... well, no, Cameron, let's do the coin.
What were you going to say?
No.
You obviously had an idea there.
Well, no, I was just going to say, because I actually... One thing that I liked about yours was the free challenges.
Right.
So, I really like that.
Okay.
So, but... Looking back at mine... I also like the idea of the one thing I would like, the thing I would do would be have it almost like kind of do like mainly have it kind of like your story,
right? But
add my little bit about him meeting Surta to arrange, taking over his brothers.
Sure.
And all that sort of stuff. That's what I would say. And then have yours as like the main story.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, we can even say it sounded like Surta was. Oh yeah, okay. Do you want to do it that way then?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So.
What do I usually write here? Let's find out. How do I usually discern it? I don't. I just put a line.
Yeah, Andrew. All I would say is just say your story, but Thomas's meetings with Cole meeting Surta from Thomas's story.
Right. Okay.
And then we can move on to wrapping this up, and we can talk about the main thing. We
to
need to talk about what we need to talk about at the end.
Oh, there's something else.
Yes, there
right.
is.
There's two episodes, but you get 4 acts. But with tavern meeting.
Yes.
Right. Brilliant.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Good.
Which makes the scores equal now.
3-3. It does. Good on you. Okay, now.
I worked hard on that one to bring it back.
You
Anyway.
did. Okay, a couple of weeks ago, me and Andrew were discussing catchphrases for our podcast. And I was actually, it's like so many of my stories start like this, but I was sitting in Ye Olde Tavern with a few of my friends a few weeks ago, and we were discussing Avengers 3, so Infinity War.
Strange way to put it, yeah.
Yes.
Infinity War.
Yeah, indeed, thank you. And obviously, in the trailer and in the film, obviously, Black Panther says, "Get this man a shield." And then my friend who I was talking to, well, we were talking all of us together just stood up with his hand and fist raised and said, "Bring me my shield!" So that's going to be my what I'm going to say now is "Bring me my shield" every time.
Bring me my shield!
Yes.
Wow.
Have you thought of one yet?
Yes.
Go on then. What's yours?
Bring me the soup.
No, Andrew.
Oh, I don't know.
Andrew, we talked about this.
I know.
The other day.
I'm not very good with catchphrases. Well, actually, well, I used to have a few when I was growing up.
Go on then.
Cheesy biscuits was one.
Just say fish. Just say fish.
Fish is my thing.
There we go. Right, Kate. So we now have two catchphrases.
That's the
So-
stark difference between you and me. Bring me my shield and the fish.
But you know, you can always say, "Bring me my fish."
Bring me my fish.
Bring me my fish. Well, thank you very much for
Sticking with us.
yes, and coming along with this wonderful
It's quite a
adventure,
journey.
and it means a lot. And
Absolutely.
so, if you would like, you can leave a comment, a subscribe, or you can even become one of our patrons. The link will be down below. If you like, you can send us an email and put in the what's it called? What's the little thing at the top of emails?
What?
What's the little thing at the top of emails called?
Subject?
Yeah, subject. If you put the subject as podcast, and we'll find it directly, and we will read it. Thank you very much for listening, and as always, at the end of all of my things, I will give a little salute and say goodbye.
And I'll say farewell to that
Bring me my shield!
fish.